Now, is it time for a national no-fly list? Not talking about terrorists here. I'm talking about everyday people who cause problems on planes. Agitated passengers arguing with flight attendants, or overly intoxicated flyers acting belligerent, even violent during flights. The FAA says last year there were nearly 6 times the number of unruly passenger incidents than there were in 2019. And now members of Congress are reintroducing legislation to do something about it. NBC's Tom Costello has more.
Their safety has to come first.
On the steps of the Capitol, flight attendants came to plead for help and tell their stories of being attacked by passengers. Southwest flight attendant Jennifer Vitalo.
I was hit in the head, knocked to the ground.
Cher Taylor from Frontier Airlines was trying to stop an assault.
The racial slurs continued as passengers separated. I'm still haunted by this incident.
Americans Pete Enriquez attacked on a flight from Miami to London.
He spat again in my face and sucker punched me in the eye.
Despite an end to the controversial mask mandate, the FAA investigated 831 cases of unruly passengers last year, more than 2 each day, compared to 146 cases in all of 2019. Most recently, a passenger allegedly tried to stab a flight attendant in the neck. FAA Chief Billy Nolan with Lester.
If you act up in flight, we're going to come after you.
While airlines routinely ban disruptive passengers, new bipartisan legislation would create a national no-fly list managed by the TSA. A passenger banned on one airline would be banned on all.
If you commit violence in the skies, you will no longer fly.
Make sure that those people can never come anywhere near any airport in this country ever again.
While the White House, flight attendants and pilots unions support a national do-not-fly list, some but not all airlines are on board. The question now, will Congress pass the legislation? Tom Costello, NBC News.
Now let's turn to someone who knows all about unruly passengers in the air, Sara Nelson, president of the Association of Flight Attendants. Good to have you back on the show. You've been pushing for a no-fly list like this for quite a while now. Tell us why. How big of an impact do you think a list like this would have?
As you saw from the numbers just now, we have a problem with these violent acts that have not gone down. Certainly, we don't have as much compliance to take care of since the mask mandate went away, but most of those incidents didn't really elevate to a level of violence or severe threat on board, and a disruption that will cause a risk to the safety of everyone on board, and potentially cause us to have to divert a flight, which is going to cause a ripple effect of problems throughout the system. So if you're not behaving properly on a plane, if you are threatening and physically violent towards someone, and you have been found guilty of that, either through the DOJ process or through an FAA investigation, then you need to go on a banned flyer list, because we can't have you going to another plane and thinking that you can do the same thing too.
The ACLU has been very vocal against this. They said on Wednesday that a new no-fly list is not needed. They called the existing one a due process nightmare. What's your response to that?
Well, today there is no due process. Airlines actually ban passengers on the individual airlines. There's no transparency in that process. One of the benefits of having this maintained by the federal government is that there would be a very transparent process and a due process that makes sense. And I think it's important that everyone who introduced this bill is showing that they're very interested in making sure that those civil liberties are protected, that there's a report out to Congress every 3 years if there is any issues of disparity with race or any other ways that this is being treated that is unequal for those who are participating, and also a process to appeal and a process to get off the list, ultimately for good behavior. So we're trying to cover all of those angles, but what we need to do is make sure that we keep the problems on the ground, because little problems on the ground become very big problems in the air, and it's not okay to be violent, to put everyone at risk and inconvenience everyone else who is traveling that day.
Sara Nelson, thank you so much for coming on the program. We really appreciate it. Thank you. We've got some breaking news out of Nashville, because officials